No, so
Yeah,
just
talk about today. Cool.
okay. So our first
No,
day.
talk to me.
Oh, okay. So my name is Sumaiya Haque. I'm a rising senior at Langley High School, and I am the leader and founder of Snapshot Dhaka. Okay, so the first day I felt a mix of many emotions, mainly a mix of excited and being nervous at the same time. I was really excited because after several months of planning, and I remember the first time I found out that I was accepted, that my project was accepted to be implemented in Bangladesh, the excitement I felt and um, all the events leading up to that, but then also being nervous because I didn't know if the kids would open up to me. I didn't know if I'd be able to communicate with the kids. So it was just a mix of a lot of emotions. But when I woke up that morning and when I finally got to the school, it kind of became all real to me. Going to the school and seeing the conditions that the kids have to go through, the entire school was flooded. Um, there was they have one water fountain that works and it's barely working. Um, so yeah, seeing that really opened my eyes up to a lot of. It really opened my eyes up to how privileged I am to go to a school like Langley, where we have so many computers, so as many water fountains as we need, and that was really eye opening. And when I caught a glimpse of the first kids walking into the school, all of my nervousness kind of went away because they were so willing to communicate with us. They were so excited to see us. So after a lot of the kids came to the school, we actually walked to one of our students' homes, Nova's house, and it was a long walk. It was around 15 to 20 minutes, and walking through the streets that the kids walked through also really opened up my eyes, seeing how much trash there was all throughout the streets and seeing all the little kids, running around where there's broken glass, where there's mud and everything. And I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I knew we were going into an underprivileged community, but actually going there and seeing the kids and seeing how people in that community live their everyday lives was really incredible and really surreal almost. It felt like it wasn't even real at one point. And the kids and we were just walking side by side, walking to the home, and it also really amazed me how these little kids, they were 8 years old, and they were directing us along. They were directing us to how to get to Nova's home, and it was there's like no landmarks. There's nothing where you can like easily tell like which way to turn. But these kids, they were so smart, and they just guided us and told us where to turn. And when we first got to her house and walked into the room that we would be teaching in, it was a really small room. There was no windows, no AC really, and I remember just being like, wow, how are we going to. I was so worried at that point when I went into the room, and I was like, how are we going to implement our lessons? How are we going to do how are we going to go through everything? How are we going to teach them? I was really worried, and I was like, how am I going to survive? How are we all going to survive? Because we were all like crammed into that one small room, 25 kids, the 6 of us, and I didn't really know. I started doubting how successful this project would be, but the kids the entire time, I feel like how optimistic they were rubbed off on me, and seeing how happy they are with the little they have, it kind of made me feel like, you know what, everything's going to be okay. The most important thing is that I'm here with the kids, and we can have this experience together, regardless of if we go through every little nitty-gritty technique that they need to learn, or every little worksheet, or every little scavenger hunt. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that we give these kids the opportunity to feel like their voices are important. So Nova's family was very accommodating. They got us fans, and we stayed there for around 10 minutes, and we did kind of our intro presentation where we introduced what our mission is and why the kids are there and their responsibilities, and how important their cameras are and how they have to take care of them. After that, we got into smaller groups, so I had 7 kids, and in the beginning, there was a wide range of personalities. Some of them were really quiet and didn't really talk to me right away, but then there were other really loud ones that were like super excited, and I remember Atik was going crazy, and he was so ready to get his camera. He kept on asking, when are we going to get our camera, when are we going to get our camera? But we got into our smaller groups, and that was when we first introduced the cameras to them. So for the first scavenger hunt, it was really a learning experience because it was the first time the kids were actually taking photos. A lot of them did struggle at first. I noticed that for the categories like happy and sad, they would just tell their friends to smile, or they'll tell a random kid on the street to do a sad face, which was funny, but at the same time, we definitely wanted the kids to start thinking more creatively and starting to look more into their community for their photographs. But overall, they were really enthusiastic and willing to learn, which was incredible. And during the scavenger hunt, the kids were so excited to be taking photos that they would, every time they would take a few photos, they would always come to me or come to someone else and be like, "Oh, madam, look at these photos." And it was really great to see how excited they were, because I was also nervous that maybe they wouldn't like photography that much, or maybe they wouldn't really be comfortable speaking with us for help and for advice. So it was really reassuring to hear that they were so willing to listen to what we had to say about their photos. So after the scavenger hunt, we came back into our small groups and we started our first journal entry. And the question was, how do you feel knowing that other people in the world are going to see your photos? And do you like taking photos? Why or why not? So it's kind of just explaining their initial thoughts of taking photos with a camera and how they feel about the program that they're going to be enrolled in. And overall, all the kids said that they were very excited to be enrolled in this program. They were really excited to take photographs. They love taking photographs. And one of the other kids, Lisa, she said she hopes people in India will see their photos and see what it's like in Bangladesh. And overall, all the kids were really excited, and they were really thrilled to have other people see their photos as well.